Hello there and welcome to Brian Lomax Movie Talk. Joining me today, as last time, is Nathan. Say hi, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan.
Every time. We just went to see Logan Lucky. It's a new film from Steven Soderbergh, the guy who said he was done with directing movies. Obviously couldn't keep away. Bodes well for Quentin Tarantino. It's a caper movie. I would describe it as Ocean's 11 meets Oh Brother Where Art Thou. As usual, Nathan, initial thoughts. Come on, you said you got more to say about this one than American Made, so
okay.
Go ahead.
I thought this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching it. Quite a lot of laughs. Felt like this film didn't really know what it was. Is this a movie taking itself seriously, in which at the end we should all be happy that the character, everything's been resolved, or is this an out-and-out comedy and let's have some laughs? Because there was some laughs, but there's also some jokes which really fell flat as well. I did enjoy it, but at the same time I think it's quite flawed.
Yeah, I think for me, I felt the movie left me a bit cold in many parts. I feel like the stuff with his daughter should have hit me a bit harder. I should have felt a bit more of an emotional kind of punch with that than I did, because that really is the heart of the movie. It's about this man who pulls a heist, organises this heist, obviously gets a bunch of people involved in it in order to do so, a la Ocean's 11, but it's really all for his daughter. It's so that he can be closer to his daughter.
Is that what it was for? Because I lost that.
It's so that he could make a bit more of himself, have the money to move closer to his daughter, because his ex-wife and her new fellow are taking the daughter with them further down south, and he wanted to be able to move closer, and he needed the money to do that. And it's just, and I guess part of it as well is not just that, but I guess he was just tired of being pushed around. He was tired of being told he was dumb, when clearly he's smart. He's the sharpest tool in the box, even though he doesn't look it. And I think that's kind of one of my problems as well, is that actually, I think the film is filled with Southern stereotypes. I mean, I've never been to those parts of America, but I think over here in the UK we often get fed that image of what a Southern American is like. NASCAR, Southern drawl and all that. And I think I had a hard time believing that these characters could pull this stuff off. You go to Ocean's 11. I don't have trouble believing those guys can do it, because they're clearly all highly educated. They're in that trade, proper bank robbers and whatnot. Whereas here, I didn't really get that vibe from him, because they're painted out as the line in the trailer. If you've seen the trailer where it said you Logans really must be as simple-minded as people say, and it's like, well that's it. They painted them as simple-minded throughout the entire film. And I think that's the contradiction, isn't it? They're trying to show that, well, that's the perception people have on them, when in actual fact it's anything but. This Logan, the Channing Tatum character, proves himself to be actually the smartest guy in the room. But I think it's a bit lost on me. I had trouble getting there, I think.
Me too. If there was the right motivation, then you could kind of think, okay, he's really thought this through and he knows what he's doing. But I just didn't believe the motivation. I didn't get that he was this guy who was down on his luck that bad, really. Because he was such a nice guy as well. He was just kind of like, oh, I've been let off, okay, fair enough. He had a few drinks, he was at a bar and he was a bit down, but it wasn't, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, I'm going to do a bank job. It didn't seem like he was desperate enough to to then get to this moment, all he said was a code word, cauliflower, and that didn't really mean anything either, did it?
Yeah,
really?
like you kind of what I was hoping there's going to be a story behind that, like
a little flashback would have been great, something like that.
I just a little anecdote from them, telling them about a deal they made, that if he ever called the word cauliflower again, then his brother would have to, I don't know. There was a lot of stuff in there that just seemed to tick along rather than truly get me.
I think that would have really helped with the brotherly relationship as well. Earlier on in the film, I found it hard to sort of get these guys and their relationship. It got better as the film went on, but I wanted to get invested a bit earlier on during the film. And like, I was saying about kind of the film doesn't really know what it is. So you've got these two guys who aren't that intelligent, but they're quite downplayed. They're not massively stereotyped. But then you've got this really strange British character played by Seth MacFarlane.
Is that Seth MacFarlane?
Yeah,
the guy with the tash.
It feels like he's trying to do a really bad Ricky Gervais impression.
All right.
And he's some celebrity who has a drink company.
Yeah.
Didn't really know what his character's all about. Was an absolute mess. His accent was a mess. His acting was. I'm not a fan of Seth MacFarlane.
No,
anyway.
I'm not.
Thought he was funnier than he was, and I just thought he wrecked the film by me completely, because when he was on screen, I know he's supposed to be irritating, but he had no sense of realism at all.
No, I mean, he was a cipher for other things to happen. Like, by him acting like a douche in the bar, we get to learn information about the brothers. Stuff that I thought connected me to them, like hearing that the Kylo Ren, what's his name?
Adam
Driver. Like hearing about his character, a piece of information comes out that actually he went to fight in Iraq, and you see that actually his older brother looks to him as a hero because of that. All he ever did was almost become a star quarterback, but actually his brother went and fought for his country, and you got this younger brother who looks up to the older brother, always has, and has followed him into these wacky schemes as a result. But actually, when you look at it, it's the older brother who's looking up to the younger one, because he sees him as a hero because he went off to the war. So stuff like that, the character moments like that came out, they do get me a little bit. They make me like these brothers, is what I'm saying, I guess. And I think what I liked about the movie most of all was just this main character, this chap the one played by Channing Tatum, just how likeable he is. He's just a nice guy trying to get by, and for some wacky reason he comes up with a great robbery scheme. But for me, it was mostly just about him and his daughter, and trying to be a good dad. And like, there's a key scene in the film when his daughter, who's been trying to get into do this beauty pageant, which I hate. I hate these things, I really do. But there's a moment in that when she sings this song and she dedicates it to her dad, and then his ex-wife, who is there, who's always treating him like crap, basically, in front of his daughter, which, again, I hate, and really didn't make me warm to Katie Holmes in this film. She dedicates his song to him, and in that moment, Holmes' character, I think, suddenly realises, actually, just how much impact he has on his daughter's life, on her daughter's life, and that does wake her up a bit towards the end of the film. But it just, I see it on the surface. I see what they're trying to tell us on the surface, but I wasn't feeling it in here. That's the problem. It's like there's some kind of disconnect. Like, I see what they're going for. I see the story they're trying to tell, the family drama that they're trying to tell, but for whatever reason, it didn't move me in the way that it should. Thankfully, I was still entertained, because there's still a lot of stuff going on. Like, I like the robbery. I like the intricacies of the robbery, seeing the different ways that they were pulling off this job, when you learn the information. And I liked some of the comedy elements. I liked some of the quirky characters, like the Daniel Craig character.
He was the best character.
Yeah, when he's coming up with his bomb, and like, he doesn't want to call it a bomb, and he made it out of these sweets, and you're thinking, that ain't going to explode. And then he's writing with chalk on the wall, the science behind why it will. And that stuff was amusing. His character was amusing and entertaining. So it balances itself out, I think, with things that are quite good. And the warden, there's this prison warden in there who's always throwing out. What was the name of the prison? I can't remember the name of the prison, but he like whenever something bad kicks off, he's like, "We don't have fires here at such and such," or "We don't have breakouts here," and he's just in constant denial. Basically, his job as warden, he manages to pull off simply by, I think, living through denial constantly. But yeah, so it's a bit of a mixed bag. I think the film, it's certainly not Soderbergh's best.
No, and I think interesting line in the film, self-referential line. Did you pick it up on the news broadcast when it said it? They called it an Ocean 7-Eleven.
Yeah, all right. No, I missed that one.
It pretty much is an Ocean 7-Eleven. Nowhere near as slick, nowhere near as cool. No. And actually, without the same kind of finish and connection, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Scores.
I think I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. It was a good film. Wasn't a great film. There's definitely stuff in there, I think, to be entertained by. It might be one of those that requires a second watch. I don't know, but on this viewing, 3 out of 5 from me.
I'll give it 3 out of 5 as well. Not desperate to go and watch it again, but did actually enjoy it, and there was moments in it which really made me laugh. 3 out of 5.
Okay, there you go. That's our review, and that was our scores. But what do you think? Where do you think this sits amongst Soderbergh's filmography? Comment below, let us know, and until next time,
cracking.